There are machines, and then there are legends. Some are built to get you from one place to another, and others are built to shake the very ground you ride upon. The MV Agusta F4 1750 is not just a motorcycle, it is a statement, a heartbeat cast in metal, a dream painted in red and silver. When you see it, you don't just look. You pause, you breathe differently, you feel the aura of something that was never meant to be ordinary. This is the bike that redefined Italian art on two wheels, the masterpiece born from the vision of Claudio Castiglione and the design genius of Massimo Tamburini, the man who sculpted dreams into steel. In the late 90s, when the world thought superbikes had reached their peak, MV Agusta stepped out of the shadows, resurrected like a phoenix, and gave the world the F4 1750. Not just a motorcycle, but a sculpture that moves. The first thing you notice is the body. Aggressive, sharp, sculpted like a fighter jet frozen in motion. Every curve speaks of speed, every angle whispers danger, and the four-organ pipe exhausts at the rear don't just end the story, they declare it. This is not designed for the sake of looks, it's design that cuts through the wind, that tells the rider, you are not here to blend in. You are here to dominate. And then, there's the soul, 750 cubic centimeters of pure Italian fury. A four-cylinder engine, radial valves, 126 horsepower unleashed at 13,000 revolutions per minute. But those are just numbers, mere symbols of something much greater. Twist the throttle, and the world bends around you. The engine screams not like a machine, but like an orchestra of rage and beauty, a symphony written in fire and precision. It doesn't just accelerate, it lunges forward with the hunger of a predator. The top speed, over 170 miles per hour. In its time, this wasn't just impressive, it was shattering. Few bikes dared to stand against it. The Honda Fireblade, the Yamaha R1, the Suzuki GSX-R, they were fast, but none had the elegance, none carried the soul, none could combine this level of artistry with raw performance. Because the F4 was never about being just fast, it was about being unforgettable. And here's something many people never realize. The F4 1750 wasn't just engineered for the road, it was engineered for eternity. Hidden inside are touches that only true connoisseurs notice. The radial valve configuration, straight out of Formula One technology, gave this engine its distinct scream. The single-sided swingarm wasn't just a style choice, it was a mark of racing pedigree. The frame itself, a mix of steel trellis and aluminum, was perfection balanced between rigidity and flexibility. And the fairing, it wasn't just wind protection, it was wind domination. Every line, every cut, tested, refined, perfected. It was priced like a dream, and for good reason. When it launched, the F4 1750 wasn't cheap. It wasn't meant to be. Around $18,000 in the year 1999, a price that separated those who just wanted speed from those who wanted history in their garage. Because this bike wasn't for everyone. It wasn't a mass-produced tool. It was exclusive, rare, and it carried the badge of MV Agusta, a name that had collected more world championships than most manufacturers could dream of. Owning one meant you were buying into a dynasty of racing royalty. But here's the magic. The real hidden feature wasn't in the steel, the bolts, or the engine. The real magic was in what it did to you. The way it made you feel. Every time you walked into your garage and saw it resting there, you didn't just see a motorcycle, you saw an untamed masterpiece waiting to be awakened. Every ride wasn't just transportation, it was a ceremony. The turning of the key, the press of the starter, the ignition roaring to life, it wasn't routine, it was ritual. And when you rode it, when you rode it, you felt the ghost of racing legends at your back. You felt the history of MV Agusta, the decades of victories, the spirit of Agostini, the pride of Italian engineering, all pushing you forward. This bike didn't just carry you on the road, it carried your soul into another dimension. Yes, it demanded respect. It wasn't forgiving like the Japanese superbikes. It was raw, it was sharp, it was temperamental, but that was the price of glory. Like a thoroughbred stallion, it would throw you if you weren't worthy. But if you learned it, if you gave it your full focus, it gave you something no other motorcycle could. Immortality, if only for the moments you were on it. And even today, decades later, the MV Agusta F4 1750 stands as an icon. Collectors chase it, riders revere it, and dreamers still pin posters of it on their walls. Because some machines don't age, they transcend time. They become eternal. The F4750 is one of those. A motorcycle that was never designed to be practical, never designed to be ordinary, but designed to be legendary. So when you look at this bike, don't just ask, what's the power? What's the speed? What's the price? Ask instead, what does it make me feel? Because the F4750 makes you feel alive. It makes you feel like you're not just riding, but flying through history, through art, through a moment that can never be recreated again. And that is the secret. The F4750 is not simply ridden. It is experienced, it is remembered, it is revered, and if you're lucky enough to own one, you don't just own a motorcycle. You own a legend that whispers every time you start it, this is not the road. This is your stage.